Now, back to Hodge Podge with Carol McCarthy on KDLM Detroit Lakes.
Welcome back to Hodge Podge. Number of things to talk about since you last spoke. We'll get an update on the Aquatic Invasive Species Program, also other things that you're working on, but also some of these things that you have available through Becker Soil and Water Conservation District, native plant kits. And let's talk a little bit about that. It is the planting season. People are getting out in their yards. Something they can do during this pandemic is plant and work on their yards. So what can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so with things greening up, things are starting to happen and warm up finally for us, and people are anxious to get out and about and get their hands kind of in the soil just like we are. Becker Soil and Water Conservation District offers native plant kits that you can order through us. We say the word native, meaning that it's within 200 miles of Becker County. You know, we're not going to be offering coconut trees and nice palm trees for the shade, but you know, these native plant kits are really important. There's a number of different kinds. A pollinator kit, which is really good for the bees, butterflies, birds. A rain garden, shoreland, kind of a wet lowland area. Some woodland and shade kits are nice too, kind of on the fringe of a property maybe. Otherwise, a complete pollinator package is kind of the opening gateway to starting your own pollinator area. You know, it's really good. The deep root system is super important for holding on to your soil, preventing it from washing away. And then, you know, aesthetically, it's nice to look at all the beautiful colors.
Right. So if people are interested, they just contact your office and you can set them up. Or are you able to kind of maybe take a look at their property and maybe suggest what would work best for them too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Soil and Water District, we're able to come out and check out anything really. Kind of a free site visit. You know, we're not in positions to tell folks what to do with their property, but at the same time, we can offer some assistance. As far as our plant kit ordering, that comes in the tax flyer every year, so look for that. Otherwise, online resources are great for that as well, and through our website.
All right, Logan Riedel with Becker Soil and Water Conservation District, along with Peter Mead in the studio with me this morning via Zoom, talking about their native plant kits available and an opportunity to check those out. Also, one of the other things that you offer are shoreline cost share and technical assistance. And I've seen a number of your projects. You worked on the beach out at Cormorant, I believe, too. That was one of your latest and greatest projects, I would say. Yeah. But you also do stuff with private property owners as well.
Yeah, so oftentimes folks are looking for alternatives to hanging on to their shore and preventing it from washing into the lake. And we're here to tell you there are different ways to do it than just putting a rock down. You know, with the shoreline restoration, it is all biodegradable materials and planting native species. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the deep root system is kind of the reasoning for that. Some of those roots can get anywhere from 12 to 16 feet deep. And you think about that, you plant, you know, a couple hundred plants in there, that'll hold on for a good long while, while also, you know, pollinator habitat and providing that necessary food that they need throughout the summer. Like you mentioned, there is cost share money available for that. You know, it's similar to like a rebate at any store, except you can use it wherever you want instead of just at that store. So.
Okay. So what is the technical assistance available?
Yeah, technical assistance is basically a snazzy way of saying we'll come out and kind of give you some advice. We're able to do that year round. I mean, days like today are great days for me to get out and kind of just walk through the property, get to know you a little bit as a landowner and what their goals are for their shoreline.
I envy you guys on days like today because that's your job. You got to get outside.
Yes.
All right.
Careful.
All right, I'm talking to Logan Riedel and Peter Mead from Becker Soil and Water Conservation District about some of the programs they have available for private property owners. Also, you know, you work with cities and communities with their property too, updating their shorelines and making them a little less erosive and hoping to improve water and soil quality. Some of the other things You work with, of course, with farmers. You work with, cover crops and talk to farmers about their soil health and erosion as well. And you also have programs for them.
Right. Yeah. Kind of got a little bit of a mix for anybody, for any landowner here in Becker County. A big thing this time of year is us working on kind of major erosion control projects through largely structural practices. So some people think we're out there putting tile in the ground. We are, but we're using it to control erosion and control stormwater flow rather than to provide drainage. So we've got probably about 30 different projects of that nature in the works this season. Last fall was not very kind to farmers, so things were a little bit of a slow go getting started. A lot of corn was standing this spring, so we've had a few hiccups there. And as you might imagine, COVID-19 has presented a few challenges as well. But folks are out surveying. They're either out in the field surveying, assisting contractors with putting in these projects, or they're hunkered over their desks at home, much like Logan there. Drinking a little coffee and putting together plans for even this fall and next spring yet.
Okay.
We were fortunate to secure about another $500,000 for these sorts of projects up in the Wild Rice watershed, which is kind of the northwest corner of Becker County. And which is kind of, I guess full steam ahead on most of this stuff.
Right. Well, and we had kind of a significant rain event the other day, and obviously that's a good test to what you're doing out in the fields and along the shorelines as well.
Right.
Okay.
Nice to get a little shot of rain. We are very dry. Once again, we're in another cycle where everybody to the south of us is crying because they're too wet, and we're quite the opposite again this year. So it is good to get a little shot of water, but Mother Nature, she's kind of fickle.
All right, Peter Mead from Becker Soil and Water Conservation District and Logan Riedel joining me via Zoom this morning on Hodge Podge, talking about the work they're doing in our community. And also, Becker Soil and Water Conservation District runs the Aquatic Invasive Species Program. And I'm assuming that is going on. I know we had Carl on last month too, talking about, will there be inspectors at lake accesses due to this COVID-19 stuff? That contact with people putting in their boats. It's necessary, but is it going on now? And is it a focus on something else?
No, it is. Got off to a little bit of a slower start than usual this year. Carl, our AIS coordinator, has done a fantastic job of pulling together everything, I guess, to get folks out there. We are, again, in that case as well, full steam ahead. We do have nearly 30 inspectors recruited that will be out there. Like I said, we got off to a little bit of a slow start, but we do have folks out working at each access. Obviously, we want to be socially distancing, make people comfortable when we're there. And Carl had a great way of putting it. If we're doing this job and we're less than 6 feet from you, we're probably doing something wrong anyway. But by and large, people have been very conscientious, very appreciative of us being out there. And, if you see the inspectors at the access, give them a little nod. They're working hard. They're going out of their way to make sure that we keep our lake safe, as well as keep the public safe too.
All right. And any new developments or any new reports that anything of significance on our area lakes that you can tell us this morning?
No, I guess we don't have any changes, which is a good thing so far. Time will of course tell. The monitoring season is not quite upon us yet. A lot of these critters aren't really active or noticeable yet this time of year. But Carl and our office has taken a much more robust approach, I think, to monitoring some of the higher traffic lake accesses. So we'll continue to do that this year. And we'll see, I guess, what happens as time goes on. But by and large, people are being very conscientious, not only socially distancing, but of course, being cognizant of the fact that you can bring things that are undesirable with you too. So I'm positive about this season. It was 2 months ago, I had a very different opinion, but we've seemed to pull everything together and everybody's very cooperative. And I'm hoping for a really good 2020.
All right, Peter Mead from Becker Soil and Water Conservation District, along with Logan Riedel, joining me via Zoom studio this morning. So some of the other things that you do too, and I don't know, there hasn't been a decision on the Becker County Fair yet this year, but I know that you guys are present there, have a big presence there, and you're always offering like nitrate testing for water. Are you, if the scenario happens where you're not able to be at the fair or the fair doesn't happen, are you still doing the nitrate testing? Do you do that throughout the year? I mean,
we were fortunate to get a grant in a combination with Otter Tail County as well. We are still offering free test kits that test 5 different parameters of your water quality for any private well owner. Those kits are still available. It's been kind of difficult for us because our office has, of course, been closed because we're co-located in a federal facility. But those kits are still available. If anybody wants to call the office at 846-7360, we can still put those kits in your hand. That's available at no cost. If you have children age 5 or under in the house, it's the nominal fee of $10 if you don't have children at home. That, like I say, is still an option, but you have to call ahead, and we'll have to make some special arrangements to get those in your hands. As far as the fair goes, I guess we'll see. We would fully intend to offer nitrate testing, but it's anybody's guess at this point.
Right. I think the Fair Board meets on the 8th, and they're going to make a decision. But anyway, we're on the line this morning with Peter Mead and Logan Riedel from Becker Soil and Water Conservation District. And anything else that you wanted to add this morning? Any updates or anything having to do with COVID-19 that you're putting off a little bit longer, or that people need to know?
Well, I guess, again, I want to reiterate that we are relatively fully operational. Unfortunately, we don't have our doors open to the public, so that presents some challenges. You'll see I'm joining you from our beautiful shop facility this morning. Got Marcia Watland in the background, meeting with some folks, getting some cost-shared herbicide in their hands. So that's still going. Ag inspector, the weeds didn't quit just because society did, I guess. So we're keeping on with that. It has been, a little bit trying, but we're getting through all this. And if anybody has any questions, be it on plant material, weeds, erosion, you can certainly get in touch. All our cell phones are being transferred, office phones are being transferred to each employee. It's relatively easy. It's probably easier than it was before to get in touch with us, honestly. So I would encourage anybody to reach out if you got any cares or worries.
All right. Well, I appreciate the update, guys, and keep up the good work. And again,
Thanks,
I'm still
Carol.
envious of you getting outside, and you want to trade positions. I'm open to that.
On that one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Logan and Peter, thank you so much.